And now back to the Trump presidency, and CBS Chief White House Correspondent Major Garrett joining us now from Washington, D.C. Major, welcome.
Welcome, Major.
Great to be with you.
So Major's
Hello.
hosting, we should mention before we start that you're hosting Face the Nation this week. So with that out of the way, we finally heard from the president today, Major, on his former aide who was at the center of this story about allegations that he assaulted his ex-wives and that the White House kept him on in spite of that. And critics are saying that the president's remarks today at the White House were insensitive. What went down?
Well, the president said a couple of things, that he just learned about the allegations and the seriousness of them regarding domestic abuse against his staff secretary, Rob Porter. Remember, staff secretary, very important in any White House, handles every piece of paper that reaches any president's desk. Rob Porter was a trusted advisor to President Trump. And after the White House had received information about these underlying allegations, didn't know if they were true or not, and Rob Porter denied them, but nevertheless they were flagged. Not only was Rob Porter kept in that important position, but his responsibilities were enlarged by the president and by Chief of Staff John Kelly. And there's been no real explanation as to why those things fit. And what the president said today is he did a great job. I hope he has a great career. And he's denied that, and we should take that into account. And it didn't really seem that the president was conveying anything about his own sense that these were serious allegations or that the ex-wives should be believed. And for those who have been critical about this White House's overall attitude about women who raise their hands and say they have been in some way either harassed or abused, this fits a pattern they find disturbing.
And speaking of John Kelly, of course, now he's in the spotlight for his handling of the Porter accusations. The White House is denying reports that he offered his resignation. What are you hearing?
Well, I am told that he did not in any way, shape, or form offer his resignation. But I am told authoritatively by those very close to the situation that he's had a very hard week and has expressed to senior staff how depressed he is about how hard a week this has been for him, and that he feels that there are those within the West Wing who he works with who have begun, for one reason or another, perhaps they have their own motivations, to turn against him. Those are things John Kelly has never said about his job, his relationship to the job, or the relationship he has to other senior advisors in the White House. A very tough week for John Kelly. He's going to have to gut this out, but as a retired four-star Marine general, he knows a thing or two about gutting difficult situations out.
No shortage of topics for you this weekend. Major, we'll be watching. Thanks so much. Great to see you. And you can catch Major on Face the Nation Sunday at 10:30, only right here on CBS 4.
And then stay with us for Facing South Florida with Jim DeFeeti. That's at 11:30 on Sunday, right after Face the Nation.